Here I am. Cold brew in hand, beautiful Sunday in San Diego. It is the perfect day to talk about the next to last guidelines, which is one of the ones that we hope that we never have to use. I was thinking about this just last night when I was going through all of these series that I promised people for the last year but never got around to, and how I'm going to finish them all up for when we get to the website. It's going to be awesome. But I was also thinking about the things that derailed, that allowed for dissension and discord and having to deal with the various permutations of Jim and Kate and Jer Bear and the Christian left, and how that absolutely took away from our mission. How I had never thought that in doing something like this, that I was going to have to deal with certain characters of people. There were some things that I expected going into Lason Race when I first founded this almost 3 years ago. One of the things that I knew that I was going to have to deal with was going to be a certain level of maybe less than artfulness, definitely. Sometimes people were going to say the wrong thing and ruffle some feathers. Sometimes I was going to ruffle some feathers, and people were going to have to learn how to walk with me well. I was not expecting sabotage. I was not expecting bad actors. And I was not expecting people that were coming to hurt and destroy, frankly. So let's talk about the guideline before I talk about the guideline. So let's read it. We hope we never have to use this guideline. We know that when confronting difficult topics, one can get activated and conflict can arise with community members. This is exactly the time to put the skills you are learning here to good use. If you need to, admin staff and/or our leadership team will walk with you. This community hinges on cohesion and unity. We are walking together. What's imperative is the commitment to hang in. It is crucial to the community that you are and remain a resilient and reliable presence in the community. And it's also important to your own individual personal praxis. One thing that we're learning here is that learning how to internalize and apply relational ethics principles are important to both this space as well as to your outside lives. Pointing out the picture window. They need to be practiced. We have rarely blocked community members, although we do reserve the right to do so for the safety of the community and the health of this space. You'll notice that in the guideline that we drafted, we didn't account for the Jim and Kates and Jer Bears and Christian lefts of the world. I didn't think I needed to when I wrote that guideline. I knew that it was going to be people, two good people who were on different pages. One person who was perhaps less than graceful, and the other one who was perhaps less than gracious. And the walking together with them that we would be doing would be with the assumption that, hey, you want to get this right, and we want you to get this right. We want you to win. Let's figure out what reconciliation looks like, that grand circle of connection, disconnection, back to repair, all of those things. We knew that that is who we would be talking to. And then the summer came, and we found out some things that perhaps we should have known before, that not everybody is a good actor, that you can't assume, as the Quakers would say, best intent from everybody. So when we talk about blocking people, we have done that. I can count on fewer fingers than I've got up right now, the times that I have blocked or banned. In a page like this, I have limited power. I can ban you, but all that means is that you can't comment or do a like or a heart. You can still read. And in a way, that's a good thing. So you can be in the group. You can be part of it. You can read. You can internalize. But you can't comment. You can't hurt. And I actually like that compromise. If you want to come back into community fully, you can always shoot us a message and we'll talk to you. We'll walk with you, probably one-on-one for a while, until we feel that it's safe for you to come back into the group. At the end of the day, and I've been saying this throughout these guidelines, My North Star, lessening and mitigating the harm endured by Black and brown people, perpetuated by white people and white supremacy. My Western Star, the one that's by the orange tree that I can see in that window over there. The health and cohesion and unity and sustainability of this space. And while I love each of you individually, I love the group as a whole. And for me, it's true here like it's true everywhere. Aggregate trumps anecdote every single time. I want you to be able to learn this, and I believe you can learn everything that we present to you here. We do reserve the right to block community members, and that's actually going to be a tool that we'll have even more of in the website space. Right now we're talking about how many permissions to give, how and when we would revoke permissions. So you could view, but you couldn't reply, that sort of thing. Right now, what we're working on, what we're kind of going with as a beginning baseline is that everybody has those permissions. But if people are unkind, if people refuse to follow the North Star, as we saw this summer with Jim and Kate in the Christian Left, for the health and community and safety of this space, we will reserve the right to make those moves. We will not do them with relish. We will not do them with pleasure. But at the end of the day, everyone deserves to be here and know that this is a place where our priority is making it a safe space for you to become a safer person. Difficult topics are exactly that. And so the question always is, when you come into this space, who you are going to be, what kind of person you are going to be, and anticipatory behavior as well. Who am I right now as I enter this space? Who am I going to be if I get activated? No one really thinks about that. You'll notice that I ask a lot of times when I am walking with someone, do you have the capacity, volition, and agency to walk with me on this? Is this something I can walk with you on? And do I have your permission to be able to talk about some hard things? And people go, why does she ask permission? It's her space. She shouldn't have to ask permission. Ah, yes, part of my nefarious strategies and tactics as a charlatan cult leader. Getting your permission is helpful. It's helpful because now it's like, all right, don't forget when you feel that whoosh, you said it was okay. Don't forget, you already said you had the capacity, volition, and agency, which means no blowing up, no shutting down, no running away, no throwing Molotov cocktails into this space because you couldn't hold on to yourself. If it gets to the point where things are just you're at red line on the tachometer, you can message one of us and say, I'm at red line, walk with me. How am I doing here? That's fine. It can't be every single time you comment because we are here to walk with you, not walk for you. So yes, to create the safest possible space so that we can all be places where our tired feet can stand for each other and where the people that we stand with and walk with and for and on whose behalf we are growing our backs and our shoulders. Here's the guideline. We deal with the difficult topics. We do it with grace and graciousness. And we always remember both the North Star and the Western Star, unity and cohesion of this space.